So to manage our host, as you will see here, an example of the type 2 that we're going to use in our lab: the hardware, the host operation system, the hypervisor, and the guest operation system. And of course, in the real environment, we have the bare metal or the server with a VMware ESXi hypervisor that creates a layer of OS independence, and then we have a virtual machine that's running on an ESXi hypervisor, that's content operation system and the application that we want. So when we want to manage that server or to control that server, of course, we have the first option is to control your server directly through using a keyboard. Of course, we can't use a mouse to manage the server directly. And we have another option is to connect to the server by using a browser. But VMware make it more easy by using a user interface that we're going to see it later. So to manage your server or your host that have a ESXi hypervisor, we need to use the vSphere client. So in this example, for example, you can use your laptop or your desktop or any device that you have that you can connect to the network of your servers, and you need to have a browser, internet browser like Firefox, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, any software that lets you connect to the internet. And then you need to have a connection between your vSphere client and the server that you want to manage. So for example, this is our server that we have in our database, and this is our vSphere client. So for that, you need to get inside your browser and type the IP address of the host number 1. You need to already know the IP address of this host, and then you will get a user interface that will ask you for the user and the password of this host to get access to this host and start managing it, start creating virtual machine, installing operating system, etc. Then to manage the second host, you need to tap the IP address of this host again and the username and the password to connect to this host and start managing it. And the same for the third host, the 4, etc. But some databases have more than 20, 50, 60, maybe 100 hosts that we have, and it will be difficult to manage all of them by remember all the user, all the password and the IP address, etc. And also this architecture is very limited. There are more features of VMware that we can't use it by using this architecture right here or this infrastructure. So for that, we need to use a new tool of VMware, call it vCenter Server. So this is an example of architecture using the vCenter Server. So here we need to install a machine with a vCenter Server, and through your laptop or your vSphere client, you connect directly to the vCenter Server and then start managing your hosts by adding them to your vCenter one by one, adding the IP address, the user and the password for each of those hosts, and will be saved inside this vCenter for every time you need to manage those hosts. The next time when you want to start managing them, you need only to log in to your vCenter by using the IP, the user and the password of the vCenter to see all your hosts of your data center available and ready to be managed. Also, vCenter, also using vCenter Server, will give us more than 18% of the future of VMware that we can't do it without having the vCenter. So through this course, we're going to see how we can create this environment in our lab. So see you in the next video.